Hey, Sam, I really think you need to take your online spending habits seriously because overspending online can quietly damage your financial stability. First, I'd strongly suggest creating a clear monthly budget. Decide exactly how much you can afford to spend on non essential shopping and stick to that limit no matter what. You should also track every purchase for a few weeks so you can see where your money is actually going. Sometimes just being aware of the numbers can reduce unnecessary spending. Another important step is to remove temptation. Unsubscribe from promotional emails, delete shopping apps from your phone, and avoid browsing online stores when you're bored. Before buying anything, wait at least 24 hours. If you still feel it's necessary after that, then consider purchasing it. Finally, set a savings goal that truly motivates you, like building an emergency fund or planning a trip. When you focus on long-term security instead of short-term excitement, you'll feel more in control and financially confident. I remember a time when I had to tell a close colleague that he didn't get a promotion he had been hoping for. I was part of the evaluation team, so I knew the results before they were officially announced. He had worked really hard and was confident about his chances, which made the situation even more difficult. Before speaking to him, I carefully thought about how to deliver the news in a respectful and supportive way. I asked him to have a private conversation and explained the decision honestly but gently. I also highlighted his strengths and suggested areas for improvement. He was obviously disappointed at first, but he appreciated my honesty and constructive feedback. Later, he thanked me for being transparent and encouraging during a tough moment. In this picture, I can see a quiet public library where most people are studying. But one man is clearly disturbing the peaceful atmosphere. He's standing near a table, talking loudly on his phone with an animated expression and gesturing with his free hand. He seems completely unaware that he's interrupting others. Around him, several people look annoyed. A young woman sitting at the table is covering her ear while trying to focus on her book and laptop. Another student is looking up at him with frustration. An older man nearby is pressing his finger to his lips, signaling for silence. In the background, I notice a sign that says, "Quiet, please," which makes the situation even more ironic. A librarian wearing a staff badge is walking toward the man, probably to ask him to lower his voice or take the call outside. In this picture, I think the librarian will most probably approach the man who is talking loudly on his phone and politely ask him to lower his voice or step outside. Since there is a clear, "Quiet, please" sign on the wall and other people are visibly disturbed, it seems likely that the staff member will intervene very soon. The man might feel embarrassed once he realizes everyone is staring at him. He may apologize and quickly end the call, or perhaps walk out of the library to continue his conversation. If he refuses to cooperate, the situation could become slightly tense, and the librarian might have to be more firm. Overall, I believe the issue will be resolved peacefully, and the library will return to its quiet and focused atmosphere. Hey, Chloe. I understand why you prefer cash because it feels more private and helps you control your spending. However, I truly believe digital payment is a smarter choice in today's world. First of all, it's much more convenient and faster. You don't need to carry cash or worry about having exact change. Secondly, digital payments automatically keep a record of every transaction, which actually helps you track your expenses more accurately than cash. You can clearly see where your money is going. Also, it's much safer when dealing with large amounts since you don't risk losing physical money. Finally, you can make payments remotely, whether you're shopping online or sending money instantly. Overall, digital payment saves time, improves organization, and adds security, which makes it a better long-term option. Hello, Mr. Cooper. I wanted to talk to you about something that's been bothering me a little. I've noticed that your car has been parked in my assigned parking spot a few times recently. I completely understand that parking can sometimes be limited. And I'm sure you didn't mean to cause any inconvenience. However, since that spot is designated for me, it creates some difficulty when I come home and can't find a place to park. I really value having a good relationship with you, so I thought it would be better to speak directly rather than involve management. Could we please make sure this doesn't happen again? I truly appreciate your understanding and cooperation. If there's ever a temporary issue, please feel free to let me know in advance so we can work something out respectfully. In my opinion, whether it is better to rent or buy a home really depends on a person's stage of life and financial situation. However, if I had to choose, I would say that buying a home is generally a better long-term decision. First of all, when you buy a house, you are building equity instead of simply paying rent to a landlord. Over time, your property may increase in value, which can become a strong financial asset. It also provides stability. You don't have to worry about sudden rent increases or being asked to move out because the owner decides to sell the property. In addition, owning a home gives you complete control over the space. You can renovate, decorate, or make structural changes according to your preferences without seeking permission. That being said, renting can offer flexibility, especially for young professionals who may need to relocate frequently. But overall, for financial security and long-term stability, I believe buying a home is the better choice. Hey, Jude, you won't believe the kind of restaurant I'm at right now. Instead of waiters bringing food to each table, there's a huge circular conveyor belt running through the center of the dining area. Plates of sushi, burgers, desserts, and drinks are moving slowly in front of everyone, and customers just pick whatever they like as it passes by. Right now, I can see an elderly couple calmly looking at the options, while a man nearby is pointing excitedly at a plate of sushi. On the other side, a mother and her young son are smiling as they watch the desserts go by. Even the chefs are visible behind a glass wall, preparing fresh dishes. The whole place feels modern, lively, and interactive, making dinner much more fun than a regular restaurant.